Good
Hi.
evening, everybody. Hi. So good to have you here. And we are joining Cecilia Brandström from Stockholm with the master class to take control of your speaking voice. And she is a master of the speaking voice. She is teaching music, guitar, and piano, and of course, singing, and she is coaching speakers to have a beautiful speaking voice and take control of the stage. So, the red carpet for Cecilia. And
Ooh,
let's see also who is in the house. We are having a full house. France is here, the Netherlands. Oh, and Sweden is in the house. People from India, I can see. So many people. I'm so happy you're all here. Welcome, welcome. And let's get kick-started with Cecilia.
thank you so much, Carola, for a beautiful introduction. Yes,
You're
there
very
are a lot of
welcome.
people. I can see a lot of people inside. So people are dropping in, but I am considerate of your time, so I will kickstart this master class. And
So
I would
take
like
your
to
time.
thank you. I have a lot to say.
Yes, I know.
And I would like just to, because I want to warm up the chat, and go to webinar doesn't have a chat like Zoom. So if you look at the right corner, you see a box with a question mark. That is your chat. So if you have any questions or anything you would like to communicate with me or with Carola, please put a little question or something in the question mark. So, and it's only me and Carola that can see your questions. So don't be shy, people. Okay, so the first questions to you all. How many of you work with giving presentations in front of an audience? Do we have any professional speakers? Hi, Araleya. Yes, Araleya is very excited to be here. I am excited too. Yes, Olga, you are a professional speaker. Good. Corporate presentation, Siddhartha. Thank you. It's so nice to. So many people have found this chat box, the question box. Happy. All right. And how many of you are coaches? Do we have any coaches here? Any coaches at all? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, a lot of coaches. I'm so happy to see that. Okay. Do we have anybody that has no idea what I'm talking about? Hopefully not. But I will teach you, I will guide you through this. Because in this masterclass, I will talk about how to develop your voice and your voice that commands attention and to connect with your audience. And also, my favorite, to eliminate bad vocal habits because we all have those bad vocal habits, trust me. So, I will talk a lot about the voice and we're going to do some exercises. And I will give you as much value as possible during these 60 minutes. So, let's go. Let's go. And you know that your voice is like your superpower when it comes to creating rapport with people. And have you ever thought about that we unconsciously like or dislike people and make judgment based on how we sound? Have you ever thought about that? And it's also, of course, energy and body language. But for this 60 minutes, I am going to talk about the voice. But I love to talk about body language and charisma and energy as well. But for this 60 minutes, it's all about the voice. And statistics shows that the words that you use account for only 7% of whether people believe you, trust you or like you. And this proves that how you say something matters more than what you say. So you can rabble on with just anything. If you have charisma and you have the vocal presence and you have the energy, you can sell whatever you like. People love you anyway. And this is also trainable. This is trainable because with the right guidance and tools, you can improve your vocal abilities because it's muscles and it's cartilage and it's 100% trainable. So we also love great storytellers. Have you ever listened to someone who is telling a story that uses their voice to bring the story to life, go into character and uses the melody and just blows our feelings away with this story, with this emotion, with your voice? And imagine if you could completely be confident in how you speak and how you use this instrument and actually liking what you hear. How would that change things for you? Think about it. What impact would that have on your life? And I would like you to have this thought with you throughout this presentation. What impact would that have on your life? So have that thought with you this presentation. And my name is Cecilia Brännström. I'm from Sweden, I'm from Stockholm, and I am a trained vocal coach, and I have nearly 30 years experience in this industry. Imagine that 30 years, it's a lot, but I'm a lot older than you might think. So, well, 30 years of experience, and I help both amateurs and professionals develop their voices for speaking and singing. So I am a musician and I am a vocal coach and a singer, but I also work with speakers and actors because it's the same instrument. And I've been singing and playing and speaking on a lot of stages, but mostly playing my music and singing and playing my guitar and playing my piano. So I'm really confident in singing, speaking of course, but singing on stages. So that is my passion. And I think it's really important, even though you are a speaker or a coach or a corporate trainer or whatever profession you have, if you combine stage presence from a musician's point of view, I would add, and adapt that into your presentation as a speaker, because we want to connect with the audience, we want to create emotions and passion. So it's really the same. And I would really love for you to adapt into that, to become this charismatic presenter on stage. Just like a singer, even though you are not singing, you are speaking. So people, are you ready to get going? Just drop a yes in the chat if you are. Woo, let's go. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I'm so excited. I am so excited. So I'm going to turn on this presentation and I will kickstart this party right about now. So I'm going to DJ this show, pressing the slides. Here we go. Okay. Yes. So 6 keys to a voice that inspires. All right. All right. I hope you see. Okay, 6 keys to a voice that inspires. And during this time together, I will go through 6 key principles of voice management. And the first one is tempo. And all these 6 keys can really affect how others perceive you when presenting. So this is super important to be able to have awareness about. So tempo, volume, of course, and melody, tonality. I love this one, tonality, and pause. Woo, I get chills. Pause. Wow, I love that. And vocal technique. Of course, since I am a vocal coach, I have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge about the instrument. So I will give you a little tips about that as well. And then we have bad vocal habits and filler sounds and filler words and monotone pitch and vocal fry and lack of variation in volume and lack of variation in tempo. And we have a lot of bad vocal habits, but for this presentation I will focus on these 5. Oh, there it comes. Bad voice habits. Oh, look at that. Did you know that you only have a few seconds to make an impression when you start speaking before people start to make judgments about you based on how you sound? And a well-modulated voice can make your team, your investors, and customers more interested and connect to what you actually are saying. So this is more important than we can even imagine. Super important. And whether we realize it or not, our voice influences our trustworthy and confident. And if we use our voice with all these 6 keys, we sound more confident and in control and more pleasant to listen to. And when this is a little embarrassing, but when I studied at the Royal Academy of Music in Stockholm, a part of our exam involved being recorded while leading a singing lesson. So my teacher was going to record me while I was speaking and doing this singing lesson with a student. And this was to raise awareness of our body language and communication skills. And I was fine with that because I've been on stages for many times singing. So yeah, I've been listening to my voice being recorded when I was singing. And I think I have a beautiful voice. I love my voice when singing. But listening to my speaking voice, I never really paid attention to my speaking voice. So I was really excited because I had good confidence in my voice, and also when I was holding that lesson, because I thought in my mind it was a great lesson. So when I was going to go through this video with my teacher, I was a little nervous, but still, my impression was that it was going to be a really good it was a really good lesson. And when I remember when I heard my voice, the first thing in my head, my voice sounded really nice, like dark and deep, and I thought that I didn't recognize my voice on this video. I was, oh, is this really how I sound? I didn't recognize my voice at all. It sounded awful. It wasn't like how I had pictured it, because in my head I sounded like, today we are going to sing some jazzy tunes and get into that groovy jazzy sound. That was what I pictured my voice. But instead, I heard on the video, hello, today we're going to sing some really high notes, and at the end of the session, we are going to go do some really high scales. And I was like, oh my Lord, my voice was awful. And even though I thought I had a good vocal technique as a singer, this was an aha moment for me, because I realized that good voice technique isn't just for singing, but also for speaking. So most people don't know that when we talk, we hear ourselves differently inside of our heads. We are using the resonators inside of our heads. So and it creates a resonance inside of our head. But when you listen to a recording, you hear your true voice, the way others hear you. So this is really scary. So how many of you have heard your voice on a recording and thought, oh, is that really me? Put a little 1 in the chat. Yes, okay. 1, 1, 1, I see. Yeah, a lot of people, because when we experience our voice inside of our head, it sounds different. And studies show that, as I said before, your voice really plays a crucial role in how others perceive you. And you can read on this. This study shown that people who speak with a steady and energetic voice are perceived as 20 to 30% more credible than those with a low or a weak voice. Imagine that. So it's really important to train your voice. All right, so let's do the first key, and that is tempo. And tempo, that is your speaking speed. And a lot of people put no thought behind their rate of speech, how fast they speak. But think about it. For you who are listening to this, and if you get stuck in a consistent rate of speech, if you speak like this all the time, da da da, or you have the same pace all the time, it's really hard to listen to. And what happens to you as a listener? You will get bored and you will tune out. And if I speak very slow like this all the time, you might think that I'm kind of retarded. But actually, I have heard people speaking like this a whole presentation, and it was super boring. So don't do this. You can speak slow when it's something important you would like to emphasize. But variation is key. And if you speak really, really fast like this, you are flooding people with information, and that is also very hard to listen to. And people think that you are very nervous and that you don't have confidence and that you don't have control over the situation. So variation is key. And my daughter, she speaks in a really fast tempo. It's like faster than light sort of tempo. And I always need to say to her, so, wait, hold on. Can you slow down? And she always gets so annoyed at me. So, are you deaf? So I don't know if it's the way teenagers speak or if it's me getting old and slow. But anyhow, you need to have awareness of the tempo. Variation is key. Sometimes you need to speak a little slower to emphasize something important, and then you can speed it up when you have something passionate you are going to talk about. So variation, people. Okay, slow. Medium. Yeah, medium is good, but variation. So you need to speak slow, you need to speak in a medium pace and also in a fast. So variation. Let's go to volume. And this is a nice one. Volume is if you speak with a volume that is too loud, for instance, people might think that you are obnoxious. But if you speak in a very low volume like this, people might think that you don't believe in what you are saying and that you are not confident. Because in a steady, charismatic, confident voice, you need to have some power when you are speaking in your volume. And also, like in tempo, variation is key. Sometimes you need to speak a little lower in volume to emphasize something important. And if you use this in a variation, people will lean in and listen to what you are saying because something important is coming now. So if you speak like this all the time with a high volume, this is also super obnoxious to listen to. So variation is key. And if you could rate the level you use when you do a presentation from a scale to 1, and 1 is like you are whispering, 1 is whispering, and 10 is like you are screaming. From a whisper to a scream, where would you put yourself when you are doing a presentation? So think about that and put it in the chat. Where would you put yourself when 1 is like you whisper when you are speaking, and 10 is you are screaming out loud? You are preaching the gospel at a very high volume. And most people actually put themselves in a 6 or a 7. They rate themselves in a 6 and a 7. And if you were speaking to an audience and you rate yourself like 6 or 7, the audience would probably rate you 3 or a 4. And why is that? Because, as I said previous, when we are speaking, we hear ourselves, the acoustics in our head, the resonance in our head sounds a lot louder in our heads than the people hear us. So that is why people don't speak at a 6 or 7, which is really at the rate that you should speak, or the volume that you should speak, 6 or 7, when you're doing presentations. So even if you think that you are speaking up, add some notches, turn the volume up a little bit so you reach the 6 or the 7, which is optimal for live presentations. And we are, I'm talking so much, so I'm forgetting to press the slides here. If you have a variation of volume and not speak too how do you say that? You need to be confident and authoritative. If you have a variation in volume, you sound confident and you sound authoritative and you seem to have control. So this is also, variation is key. Okay, so we are going to do a little exercise. First exercise. And this is the phrase that we're going to use. So now I would like you all to speak at a level 1, and 1 was whisper. So say this: a well-projected voice makes you sound more confident. Say that in a level 1. Good. And now you say this at a level 10. A well-projected voice makes you sound more confident. A good 10. Just let it out. And now you try to speak at a level 5. Can you do that? It's in the middle of whisper and shouting. A well-projected voice makes you sound more confident. That is my 5. Okay, so let's turn the volume knob up. So try to speak at a level of 6, 7, somewhere. It's almost like you are shouting, but you are not. A well-projected voice makes you sound more confident. So this is the volume you should have when you are doing presentations. All right, good. Then we have melody. And melody is also very important. So you don't end up in this monotone melody where you only speak in 1 or 2 keys, because your voice is an instrument. And melody, I think, is fascinating because I'm a singer and a musician. I love melody. And think about a book you have read over and over and over and over. Could you recite a full page word for word? Maybe you could, but probably not. Probably not. But what about a song that you love? One you sing all the time? You probably know those lyrics by heart, right? And why is that? A song and a book page have about the same numbers of words, but music sticks with us because of the melody. We remember something with the melody. And most people, as I said, only speak with a couple of notes in our vocal range. But if you add more melody to your voice, what you say becomes more memorable to people and to the people that are listening, your audience. It's like playing a full piano when you are doing your melody instead of just a couple of keys. And when I was in high school, I studied German as my third language, and I beg, I know that are some German people here, so sorry for this, but I had difficulties with learning the German prepositionen. I don't know how you say that, and my teacher, my German teacher, she looked at me and said, well, okay, this is very hard for you, but I know that you love music. So let's try this. And can you sing this instead? And I was, I'm going to sing grammar. Yeah, sing this. Sing durch für gegen ohne And then you can add Ich möchte eine Flasche Rom. And okay, just take a melody. Twinkle, twinkle, maybe. Durch für gegen ohne ich möchte eine Flasche Rom. And I started to laugh. Yeah, that was really nice. And until this day, I remember those prepositionen. Why? Because I added a melody to it. And this is so funny. So melody really sticks with people. It's in our DNA. And we're going to do an exercise. Here we have it, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So everybody knows this melody. And I would like you to say this phrase without any melody. Just say it with like the monotonous voice ever. Like twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Like a robot. Say it. Pretty boring. Really boring. And now I would like you to add some melody to it, but still speaking. We add a little melody. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Say that. A little more fun. And now I would like you to stay a little longer on the syllables. I would not, I'm not going to ask you to sing, but the difference between speaking with melody and singing is that you stay a little longer on the syllables. So don't freak out now, people. Some might think it's scary to sing, but do like this. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Now I'm speaking. I'm just prolonging the syllables. Try that. Good. So adding some melody can really make wonders to your presentation, because it's so boring to listen to someone who only has one or two notes in their melody and speaking like this. And this is like sitting in the car, not driving of course, but sitting beside someone who is driving, and the monotone sound of the car is putting you to sleep, and it feels so good to just close your eyes and drift away. But we we are not going to put our audience to sleep. with our presentation. We are adding volume and tempo and variation and some melody. All right, we continue with tonality. I love this one. Tonality, the emotional state of the voice. And it's a really beautiful picture of me and someone's cat, I don't know. But if you are thinking about how you look when you're doing a presentation, your face, and your face is like the remote control for the emotions, the emotions of your voice, I would add. And how you move your muscles in your face, that is very important for the way you sound. So when we're singing and when we're singing opera, we are lifting the roof of the mouth for bigger resonance, and we are adding the pharynx and the larynx and the da 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 da, all little muscles in your face to create different sounds, different colors in our voice. And it's the same way when you are speaking. And your tone conveys emotion and impacts how people connect with you. And we have this 6 basic feelings. It's joy, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, and disgust. So if you say the same phrase with a happy face when you are smiling, your tonality sounds completely different from when you are having a sad face, or fear, or anger, or surprise. So you get different tonalities. And when you're happy, you smile, and when you are sad, you look a certain way, and when you feel fear, you look a certain way in your face. And picture this. So many people, when I have been coaching corporate people, doing presentation, and corporate people, have very serious business and do very serious presentation. And what happens when you do serious presentation? You have a resting, I wouldn't say bitch face, but you have a resting face. The face is resting. You have no emotions, because when you are do a serious presentation, you don't show any emotions. And picture this: you are doing this really serious presentation, this corporate presentation. It's I don't know, it's a financial year-end close. This is really serious shit, and you have prepared your 250 slides, and the slides are filled with data and statistics and information, and it's really serious and important, and you need to go through this and explain it so everybody understands, and it takes hours and hours, since this is so super important and serious. And you have your professional corporate face on. And what happens when you have that serious face on is that your voice and your body becomes very serious, and you get a very monotone tonality. I hear it all the time. And what happens if you smile? You can smile, even though it's serious business, you can smile. And that creates a different tonality that people like. And it's a better sounding voice, because when you look at it in a vocal technique perspective, when you smile, you naturally lift up the soft palate, the roof of the mouth, and this creates a bigger cavity in your mouth when you lift the roof. And in a big cavity, the resonance becomes different from when you don't have a bigger cavity. And your voice also gains more melody, and making it more engaging and pleasant to listen to. Because when you are smiling, you instantly create endorphins and good feeling hormones. And what happens with the body? The body starts to move, and bam, you have a better sounding voice and a better looking energy. So we are going to do the next the next exercise. So I am completely in control of my emotions. That is the phrase that we are going to use. I am completely in control of my emotions. And now I would like you to say it with a sad tonality, like you are bursting into a cry. You're crying. Say it like, I am completely in control of my emotions. Say that in a sad tonality. And now you say it with no emotions at all, like a resting face. No emotions. I am completely in control of my emotions. Hear the difference. And now you say it with passion. You are so passionate about this. And I am completely in control of my emotions. Say it. Oh, yes, I heard that. That was passion. And now you say it with disgust. Ugh, I am completely in control of my emotions. Ugh. And you hear the difference. So this is super important to have awareness about. So how you look in your face, how you work your facial muscles have actually have impact of your tonality. So you need to have awareness of that. I have listened to leaders that have had like this it's hard to pinpoint it, but like arrogant tonality, and that it can be unconscious, but I don't trust this person. So tonality can have a big impact on whether you trust this person, like or don't like this person. So think about this tonality. And then we have pause. This is a good one. Own the silence. Okay. And silence is super powerful, but it can be quite uncomfortable. And I remember when I was it's traumatic for me a couple of years ago, maybe 15 years ago. I was doing a presentation and I was a little bit nervous, and I practiced and practiced, and I knew my everything. I knew my content and I knew my presentation, but there were a lot of important people in the audience, and suddenly I just got so nervous. So when I was going up to the stage and I was doing my presentation there, and I totally forgot everything. I forgot how to start my presentation. My brain just went blank, and I was standing there and oh my god, I'm going to have a panic attack, and I was just freezing up, and it was a terrible experience. And maybe I was standing there for, I don't know, 3-5 seconds. It wasn't long at all, but my brain and I thought I was going to have a panic attack, and my life just rushed by. But say it was like 5 seconds, that is not long. But I did not own that silence. I was nearly shitting my pants. I did not own that silence. And instead, if I had just been standing there, taking the time to taking the atmosphere, looking out on the audience with confidence, smiling with an open body language for the same amount of seconds, like 5 seconds, then I would have totally owned the silence. And if you can do that, it's scary, I know, but if you can do this is a charismatic feature, to own the silence. It shows that you have control, you have confidence, and you know your shit. You are confident. But I know it is scary, but if you are unused to do presentation or speak in front of people, what happens is that every time that there is silence, we are afraid. If you don't have practice enough speaking in public, you get a little scared of the silence and you want to fill it with filler sounds and filler words, because it is super scary to just be quiet for a couple of seconds. And what happens is that we start to do when we speak, and like so and okay. So when we are thinking and processing and thinking what to say next, we start to do this filler sound because we are afraid of the silence. And instead, if you just replace the filler sounds and those horrible words that doesn't mean anything at all, it just destroys our content. If you just replace it with silence, just pause and own the silence and see what happens. And when you own the silence with your mind and with your charisma and your energy and body language, you will start to build credibility and people will start to pay attention. So this is super powerful. And me being a singer and a musician, just pause. That pause is the most beautiful note in the world of music. And when you listen to, example, orchestral music, like a big orchestra, like a symphony orchestra, when it builds to this beautiful crescendo and really, really big crescendo, and then it just pauses. And that is one of the most beautiful notes in music, that dynamic and that variation, that is so effectful. So when you speak, use the most beautiful notes in music, the pause, because you give people time to think and to reflect and think about and process what you just said and digest the information. So pause is super important as well. Okay. Now we have come to the bad voice habits. And I will walk you through those with my camera. Oh, hi, there you are. Right. And the first, this is my favorite of all. Favorite of all. And that is filler words. Like I said before, filler words and filler sounds, and you hear it all the time, and I cannot listen to anyone who starts to today I'm going to talk about something really important. Super annoying. Who agrees with me? Put a, I don't know, 2 in the chat. Yes. So please, people, don't do that, because you can kill me and you can kill the people that are listening. And okay, so what is filler sound and how to avoid doing them? So the most important thing, we're going to go through that when we do the vocal technique, but use pause. Just instead of and doing it that by default. Many people do it by default because they have always done that. Just zip it and embrace the pause, embrace the silence. Okay. And monotone voice. I have some really good exercises, because even though we are not singers, okay, I am a singer, but I don't know about you, but we still need to train the range of the voice, so we can do like little glissandos, like woo, like that, just to extend the range a little bit, or try to speak like this. Now I'm going up the stairs. Now I am going down the stairs. Do 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 do. Just do some exercises like that. And monotone voice, resting face. Stick together like birds of a feather. Yeah. So if you smile, your voice will get more lively and will have more melody. So monotone voice, resting face. Don't do that. Okay, vocal fry. I have not been speaking about vocal fry. And that is also a feature that is super annoying, I think. And vocal fry is when you don't have enough air, when you speak with too little air like this. You have no energy and you don't speak with any air like this. And I hear this a lot, especially at the phrase endings, when you don't follow through with your vocal technique with the stream of air. I don't know, have you heard this before? I bet you do. And it's really annoying to listen to, and it's not good for your vocal cords. You? Yes, I hate it. Yeah, me too. Oh, dear. And what happens is your vocal cords go like this. Your vocal cords, because you need to have a subglottal pressure inside of your larynx, so the vocal cords can vibrate efficiently. When you do this, the vocal cords go like that. And this, speaking like this for a long time, a period, you will damage your vocal cords and you will kill the audience. Don't do that. Okay. Then we have poor volume control if you speak too soft. Okay, I covered that in the volume section, but if you speak too soft and people think that you are unsure or maybe timid, and if you speak too loud, it can come across as too aggressive. So you need to have the variation. And as a vocal technique perspective, you need to have, okay, so when we speak about vocal technique, it's control of air coming out, and it is placement of sound waves and how to use the resonators that we have. So we have the larynx as a resonator. You can lower the larynx and you can have a high larynx. And then we have this pharynx here. We use this a lot when we are doing twang and when we are singing I amplify the sound waves here. And then we have the nasal, like this, when it vibrates here. And it sounds a little bit like this. And then we have the oral resonator when you use the mouth to amplify the sound waves. So having awareness of the resonators, even as a speaker, this can prevent you from getting voice fatigue. Because if you are speaking like this with a lot of air and no using the resonators, you will get very tired in your voice. So you need to have the awareness of how to, you see, it's horrible, how to use the overtones that the cavities creates. And then you can speak like this for hours. And this is I won't try it in my voice speaking in this volume because I use my resonators now. And even if you don't have a microphone, you can speak at this volume for a very long time doing the right technique. Okay. And we are going to do a vocal technique exercise. So are you with me? The last exercise of this session. So when we speak with good air coming out, it should almost feel like you are doing, like you are saying victory. Say victory. And then you stay on the And then you feel like a thick stream of air coming out. It's almost like you are holding a mirror, and you can feel the fog here. Or see, or not feel, see the fog on the mirror. This is how much air you need to have when you are speaking. And the breath support controls how much air that is coming up here. So you need to have awareness of the breath control as well. So we're going to do a very easy and very simple exercise so you can start practicing. And we do a v for as long as you have air in your lungs. So take a deep inhale, breathe in with your nose, feel those lungs and expand your chest, and then do for as long as you have air, just letting that stream of air coming out project through all the way to me. Super good exercise. Now do it one more time. Good. This is the default mode. And now you say, to get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. Say that. To get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. Say it again. To get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. 2 more times. To get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. Last time. To get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. Okay. Now you are going to do on the syllables. You are thinking to get a beautiful speaking voice in your head, but out comes okay? You're thinking to get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out, but out comes let's try it. Breathe in. Good. Let's do it 2 times without breathing in between. Inhale. Good. Now we do it 3 times without breathing in between. No breathing. Okay, you can breathe now. Inhale. And release. Okay, so have the same sensation now when you say the actual phrase. To get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. Have the same feeling. The air is going out, out, out. Okay, let's say it 2 times without breathing in between. Inhale. To get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. To get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. Release. Do it one more time. 2 times. Breathe in. To get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. To get a beautiful speaking voice, only speak when air is coming out. This is a super good exercise because what happens when you don't use enough air? You will get tired here and the vocal cords go like this. Okay. And I would also recommend you to use this bottle. If you have a little bottle and a straw and you fill it with water and then you blow inside of this and you do sounds inside of the this will also train your vocal cords and your breath support. So this is super good when you are warming up in before a presentation or just training the breath support muscles. That is something that I really recommend you to use. All right. So time is flying, I see. So vocal technique, super important, and those 6 keys that I talked about also super important to have awareness about. And now I will put on the presentation for a couple of minutes. I will show you something more. Here we have it. And I would like you to do a 5-minute communication self-check after this presentation. And what I mean by that is that record yourself when you're doing a presentation. Record yourself 5 minutes and then listen back to this recording or this video. I want you to video record yourself and give yourself constructive I can't speak, constructive feedback by using this checklist I'm going to share with you soon, just to monitor your performance and discover your symptoms. I call it symptoms. All right. So the first is, I haven't been speaking about body language and presence, but you can use this as well because it's equal important as the voice. So when you are looking back at your video, look at this. Do I maintain good posture and open body language? Do I? Well, yes, maybe, no. Are my facial expressions natural and engaging? Well, maybe, I don't know. And do I have a distracting movements, like you're fiddling around with things and you're pacing back and forward and distracting movements with your hands or your, yeah. So look at that.
It's black. We can't see anything.
Oh no, is it
Yeah, your
black?
presentation is not coming through. Sorry.
Oh, thank you, Carola, for
You're
sharing
welcome.
that. Oh, this is the best presentation ever. Okay, yeah. There you have it. All right. So you see it now? Okay. Visual review, body language and present. Okay. So, and then go to the vocal review where you monitor your tone, pitch, and delivery. And check about filler sounds, pause and tempo, monotone pitch, volume, vocal fry, tonality, lack of variation in tempo, vocal technique, and so on and so forth. So this is a really good checklist for you to have, to just tick the boxes, or if you want, to monitor yourself. And then we have language review, and I haven't been through this at all, but it's equal important. So structure, or is my message structured and easy to follow? Do I sound confident and natural? So this checklist is super good to have and to use when you are giving yourself constructive feedback. And you can find this. So this is a code to Speak and Sell Republic. So I will put this PDF with instructions on this checklist on Speak and Sell Republic. So if you are not a member, please scan this and become a member. And it's totally free. It's totally free. And as a member, you have also access to a lot of juicy materials about vocal technique, and you have all the master classes and a lot of information about speaking in public. And so take your phone and scan me if you are not already a member of Speak and Sell Republic. And if you want to have some treatment for those symptoms of the checklist when you have looked at your video, or just want some vocal training, you can scan this QR code, and this will take you to my calendar. And I normally charge $80 per 30 minutes, and now today or tonight, you can book a private session with me for only $40. And this is if you would like some feedback and if you would like some tailor-made vocal training program. So you can scan this QR code for my calendar. And you have some time slots for next week. And this is only for next week. And then I will close this. And you can book as many sessions as you would like. So just scan this and you come to my calendar for this special offer. Okay, so do we have any questions about this topic that I have been speaking about? Do we have any questions? Let's see. Oh. All right, all right. No questions. So if you have questions, you can ask me, get in contact with in the Speak and Sell community. Okay, so thank you so much, people, for joining me, and I'm going to put on. Thank you, Khaled. Oh, Aralea, yes, scan this. It's absolutely. And I'm going to put on a little video with the QR code. So if you need a little minute to think about it, you can watch the video and look at the QR code or scan it or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to put on this video and I hope that you have
Maybe people can open their microphones and ask you some questions directly. Would that be a good idea?
Yes, if we have any questions. There are a lot of people in. Yeah, absolutely. Do we have any questions? I will open.
Do you train some people also? Is there a program you offer for voice coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. We have. So, matter of fact, me and Carola, we are recording a course, and it's both vocal technique and it's presentation skills and how to master the audience and how to get charismatic and how to think and use the right mindset. And it's a beautiful course. So we are going to give you some more information on the Speak and Sell community. So if you're interested, join Speak and Sell. We have a lot of things for free on the Speak and Sell. I'm unmuting people if there are, or maybe just put it in. Well, so many people. Okay. If you have a question, put it in the question box.
I think Aralea has a question. I see here. Can I send the link to my boyfriend Peter for some extra coaching? Yes,
Yeah.
of course, of course.
Absolutely. Just do that. 100%. Okay, so thank you so much. I am very cautious about your time, and I will put on this video now for you to see. It's a couple of minutes. It's my 15 minutes of fame. So, thank you. And you know where to find me. Have a beautiful night. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
Amazing.
If anyone's looking to get that inner voice, to find your voice, make sure you check out Cecilia. High five.
Thank you. I appreciate having the chance to come here, talk to your people, your community, and say some nice things about your training. So yeah, for everyone to get a background, I've done a lot of public speaking. I think a few of you have seen me on different stages. I've spoken at Millionaire Mind Intensive. I've spoken at for Tony Robbins, as you mentioned. We've done our Empowered Women events, spoken in many countries around the world, and I've done a lot of different speaker trainings. But what I thought was interesting when I met you, Cecilia, at one of our Tony Robbins events, was the fact that none of the speaker coaches that I'd ever met or been trained by ever spoke about your voice. You know, it was about the content, it was the structure, it was sure how to take a pause, but not in the actual art of how to use your voice. And I found that very, very interesting, that that was your whole focus. And when we spoke and we did some training on it, I realized how important that skill is and what a difference it makes for you as a speaker. So, you know, as a speaker, you have your whole toolkit, right? A part of it is what you're saying, but even more is how you say it. So it was very, very interesting. And for all of you watching here today, I went through the training. I got a lot of value from it. And I think definitely if you want to be a speaker, you can get a lot of value out of being better at using your voice. So do I think this is a good program? Yeah, I think it's an important program for people to use, to learn from. And hopefully it'll be one more tool in your toolbox for if you want to become a professional speaker, or if you just want to be better at presenting at meetings, or just having a more melodious voice. I think it's a very important tool and one that can really benefit you.
Hi, I just want to take a minute to recognize Cecilia Brandstrom, who is an amazing vocal coach who I've had the pleasure of working with. And just in such a short time, I've been able to get so many results that I never knew were possible before, with the tone, inflection, and clarity in my voice. And it's helped in not just my business and sales relationships, but also my personal relationships. I'd never realized the importance of having good vocal technique when I speak. So if you're using your voice in any area of your life or your business, I highly recommend giving Cecilia a call. You won't regret it.
And throughout my journey as a businessman, I met Cecilia. And Cecilia told me, listen, I know that you are an accomplished businessman, but I think that you can really improve even more if you understand that you can use your voice to be yet even more effective in your communication. At first, I was a little bit skeptical because I thought I already am a very proficient communicator. I am a Toastmaster. I am a public speaker. What else is there to learn? Well, I was going to be surprised because I told myself, okay, I believe in personal development. I believe in continuous improvement. So let's give this a chance. And what happened is that I met 2 times for only 30 minutes with Cecilia, and the outcome was phenomenal. First of all, it was a lot of fun. Second, very important, she made me understand that my voice is an instrument that I need to learn to leverage to better communicate, to get to my goals in a better way. So far in this video, I have spoken to you as I would have a year ago. Now let's see. I'll try to be a good student and apply what I have learned in only 2 sessions. I have a stronger voice that I back with my breath. I'm going to use all the range of this instrument. including pauses, lowering my voice, speaking very strongly to you, and just using it in its full range, the entire flavor. I am bringing a little bit of melody into it because who knows, that might make me a better communicator. The way I am speaking to you now is probably a lot more entertaining, and I know that I am still at the beginning of my journey, but I have become aware of this phenomenal instrument that I have that goes me with everywhere I go. And quite frankly, it's fun. It is fun for me to explore how will I utilize that instrument to get even more business results, to get even more satisfaction in what I'm doing, to grow even more as a public speaker. Now, let me tell you, whether you are a business owner, whether you are self-employed, an employee, or just a person who stays at home and who wants to just become a better communicator, improve their relationships with others, be able to better convey what they care about in life, I highly recommend you consider working with Cecilia, because your mind will be blown. The time you will invest in working with her, the time you will invest in this course will change your life forever.
I highly recommend Cecilia Brandstorm. She is such an expert in her field. She is vocal coach and she delivers such a proven method, and you can use it so fast in such a short time. So working with her was very important to me to improve my vocal presentation, and I definitely recommend you to work with her if you really want to improve your voice, if you really want to make it different in the way you present your message. Definitely reach out to her. Her method is rapid. This is something that you can use instantly, and she really provides so much value. So thank you so much, Cecilia, for your work, for what you are delivering, and for your passion.